We'll see if this video ever gets released. Who knows? But we've got a series. I want to go for one of those lower production quality vlog style series that are sweeping the scenes, although might be finished up by now. Had lots and lots of hobby going on over the last probably year, 6 months, 7 months, whatever it's been since I uploaded a video. Lots of stuff happening up here, but finally something has got me back to the video side of the desk, and that thing is this. So we have now, what's the bet? This is going to be reversed, and that's going to say The Hobbit backwards. I'm filming on the inside camera. I don't know how it works. Anyway, it's a big, expensive, heavy as shit Gundabad Catapult Troll, and this is going to be the next big project. I'm going to record the entire process, put it out in bits and pieces on the internet. Some of you might see this, some of you may not. It's very exciting, and I couldn't say no when it went on pre-order a couple of months ago, and I've finally finished my backlog of things. It's time to get ready for this. So the big thing about the Catapult Troll is that it's probably really bad in the game, and I have been playing the game, and I've constructed the greatest list of all time. It's going to be the Gundabad Troll with mercenary orcs on, goblins on back, plus like 13 goblins, and then Bolg, and that's the entire army for 500 points, and it's going to be terrible but exciting. But let's have a look at what's inside, for anyone who hasn't already Googled it or watched several videos on it. Right, so for clarity, I weighed the contents of this box, and it was 500 grams of resin, which I'll show you in a second. This is the components. Shout out to NJ for checking that this has everything it needs in there. Hopefully it does, and hopefully it doesn't require too much gap filling. And this is the biggest part of the troll. It's all resin, it's very heavy, and it was quite expensive, but YOLO. So I guess the first thing we better do is look through the large manual and start to prepare this thing for construction. So the most important thing when it comes to working with resin models, everyone who's watching this knows, is to start recording next to your washing machine while it's on, but also, bang, give everything a bath. Make sure it's nice and washed, and we'll wash that with a toothbrush and it'll all be fine. Get rid of whatever the stuff is that ruins it. I don't know. I don't really understand it. You just wash it. That's what they tell you to do. Right, so we will, having washed, given him a bath and a little bit of a dry, we'll put together the troll. And I believe his only components are arms, body, mouth, cock flap, and wrist weapons. So pretty standard stuff. Just going to use clippers and a scalpel to clean up the smaller bits. We'll use a hobby saw on the thicker bits, and I'll show you what he looks like when he's done. All right, so we've been at this for a while, maybe like an hour of cleaning up. All we've done is glue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces together. Jeez, it's a sexy model, but these mold lines at the front of the biceps are just in an awful spot, and I've tried to file them away and trim them down, but they're just so obvious. So I'm gonna keep at it with some sandpaper, whatever this is, sanding thing. Try to get rid of it without losing the detail, but I might end up having to just fill it in and sculpt over the top. But other than that, shit. Fuck. Other than that, it is going well. Let's just see if we can just get that to stay in place there. So that took me over an hour, I'd say. And I'm, 1/10 of the way there, given the amount of parts that are in this thing. But it's exciting stuff. Well, what I can tell you is that this sucks. This was a painful experience, and maybe I'm just not skilled enough, but you can see that this is 50% glue now. In particular, the biggest issue I had was this piece either wasn't long enough or was warped, or I just don't get something. Didn't fit properly. This piece isn't touching anything really. Yeah, absolutely don't know what I've done there. Really not looking forward to trying to put this other side and connect to all of these different points, which I can already see are all at different levels. Not fun. Right, this is a fucking nightmare. If you're building this, dry fit. If you can't work out how to dry fit it, don't just start gluing, because you'll end up with look, this wheel on the left crooked, this connection in there's cooked. One of these bits, that bit of wood there's on an angle, supposed to be on the outside, not the inside. I actually had the rope right the first time in there. Sorry, right in there. There's a hole. And I snapped this apart so the rope drops straight into the hole, but the rope's not supposed to drop straight into the hole. It's supposed to be where it was in the first place. I should have just listened to the instructions, but I didn't for some reason, and now I've got lots of broken bits. But anyway, I think in the end it'll look fine once it's on him and it's painted, but for now I'm just having time. Like, the rocks didn't fit in right because everything's squished in slightly. I missed one instruction somehow and the whole thing's cooked. But again, it'll probably be fine. We hope. Okay, it's a new day. I've had to do some green stuffing in an attempt to fix this. You can see it's essentially all plastic, but hopefully the top side doesn't look too bad. It does if you look at it closely. Now we're on to these little bastards, which are going to be resin mercenary goblins, and I've only got shitty thin plastic super glue and this super thick stuff, and neither of those are the right thing for the job, but I can't be bothered going and finding something that is. So I'll probably continue to be upset. Okay. As much as this sucked, and as amazing as this is, they are nothing compared to these goblin models. These are gorgeous. Let's get some focus on here. These are gorgeous little models. Yeah, come on, there we go, focus. I can't tell. I mean, obviously these were an absolute nightmare to glue together, particularly the ones that are two models together, but they are just so beautiful. I mean, look at this. These are 1,000 times better than the plastic Goblin Town models. They're better than the current Goblin mercenaries. They are so sexy, and I can't wait to paint them. Probably going to paint them with my standard quick speed paint sort of technique, but they're going to be a pleasure, and I probably won't do them justice. Look at this guy's little hammer. He's holding a little hammer. His hand is sculpted into the big machine. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And with that, everything is built, and we're on to painting next. Oh, jeez. Hoping my painting will cover the the terrible job I did of building this. Look at this wheel. It's just all skew if. Anyway, let's do it. Right, we are back for another update. I don't know when this is all going to go out on the internet, but here's another one. As you can see, I've actually been building a Rohan house. I was trying to get it ready for a game on Friday, and it's now Monday. Didn't get ready. Anyway, we've built Bolg as well. This is all part of the same project. Now, let's take a look in here. Now, ignore all the mess. I've got a very small, crammed area where I can spray paint, airbrush, and I've been doing that. I don't know how to use an airbrush. That's why I didn't film it. I'm just kind of making it up. I put a bit of that in, I put a bit of that in, put a bit of these in, and that... Oh, shit! And that's kind of how it goes. This is the troll. There's a few splatters. I still don't understand why there's splatters. Anyway, don't worry about the colors. This is all going to get painted over, but he's undercoated. He's black with a little bit of gray on the underbelly, just so I know roughly where some colors are going to go. Jeez, he looks mean. The plan is to do some airbrushing on him. Airbrush at least the base colors in. But, given I don't know what I'm doing, we'll have to potentially revisit that. Jeez, he's sexy, but man, my green stuffing shows up, and it shows up badly around the mouth there and in the mouth. But anyway, so he's ready to paint, and I'm not sure yet if it's airbrush. I think we'll start with airbrush, paint over it with brush if we need. And we've also got the catapult, which, and I think you can't see it now, but there was a lot of areas where the paint wasn't adhering. I don't know if that's because I didn't wash the resin or because I used too much of the zip kicker to start it. But hey, I just kept pouring paint on, and it appears to be covered in paint now for the most part. That's going to be brush. I'm going to brush it the same way I paint my goblin bases, the same woodwork. So it's going to probably look too uniform, but I know how to do it. That's a little sculpted in hand that I've sprayed white. Again, that's all going to get covered. And then the exciting bits, we've got the... although his hand's disconnected. This is the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to paint the goblins, the goblin mercs. Sprayed them in black, then realised I probably needed to spray them in grey to match my other ones, and then that wasn't enough, so a white zenithal from the top. Hopefully my painting recipe works with these guys, but geez, they are so sexy. They're just so sexy. And that's when we'll paint them up, and then we'll realise that they don't fit in the spots they're supposed to go, but you know, they should look good. They should match my 100-ish or whatever it is, 85 other goblins reasonably well. My other goblin mercenaries were done with an airbrush, but these we're just going to go tried and true. Paint them how we know them. Bloody beautiful.